Donald Trump is panicking on Saturday morning that his actions are going to cause a 1929-style Great Depression. There are leaks from his inner circle saying Donald Trump is running around the White House right now, fretting about 1929 and causing a 1929 event. Now, folks, when I label the titles of these YouTube videos, Trump panics, it's because he actually is panicking. Now, Donald Trump may try to project the image of a strong man, of an authoritarian, but he is not. And the rest of the world leaders know how weak and pathetic he is. You don't want to believe me? Take a look at the headline from the New York Times after we've been reporting about this for weeks. Risk of financial panic tempers Trump on firing Powell. President Trump again attacked the chair of the Federal Reserve this week, but advisors say the president has turned more cautious on policies that could stoke extreme financial volatility again. And it goes, and if you read the article, it says, for months, Mr. Trump has privately fretted about the prospect of a Great Depression scale event happening on his watch, a scenario he shorthands in conversations as 1929. Scott, am I going to cause a 1929? Howard, am I going to cause a 1929? And so Bessent and Howard Lutnick have to try to wall off one of Donald Trump's other economic advisors, Peter Navarro, because Navarro wants to push more tariffs, and Bessent and Lutnick try to keep Navarro away. And then this article from the Wall Street Journal talks about how they try to say, hey, Donald, we don't want to cause a 1929 either, Donald. We don't want to do 1929. So that's why you need to pause the tariffs and listen to us, not Navarro. This is how the Wall Street Journal reports it. So the morning where the tariffs were paused, when Navarro was in a different part of the White House, Bessent and Lutnick made their move. They rushed to the Oval Office to propose a pause. They stayed until Trump actually typed it out on a Truth Social post hovering over them. As Aaron Sojourner says, this is the policy process in a Trump White House. Rival factions jockey for access to the Oval Office. They race to get in front of Trump to run their thing up the flagpole publicly first before another faction can shoot it down. This is not a healthy policy process. It's not a process at all. It is panicking. It is how weak, unqualified people who should never be near positions of power handle things. And during the campaign, Donald Trump would be on stage and he would be projecting his own fears about 1929, 1929 this, 1929 that. Now he would try to frame it as strength. You need to vote for me and we'll avoid 1929. We'll avoid it. But in reality, it was him saying that he is a scared little pathetic human. Here he was from August 8th. I could show you hundreds of these clips. I'll show you one from August 17th, 2024. Here's Donald Trump saying that if he's not elected, there will be 1929. Here, play this clip.
With 4 more years of Kamala, your finances will never recover. They will only get worse. They're only going to get worse. The stock market, and you have some of the most brilliant people on Wall Street saying this, the stock market is only up because they think I'm going to win. And if we don't win, according to many people, including one of the greatest Wall Street prognosticators named Scott Bessent. Has anyone heard of him? One of the most brilliant guys on Wall Street. If I don't win, you will have a 1929-style depression. Enjoy it. I believe that. I believe that. I believe it.
Hey guys, Brett here, and I've got to tell you, I am absolutely loving Via. I've been using their Dream Gummies, and it has seriously changed the game for me. Whether I'm winding down after a long day or trying to stay locked in during work, Via helps me feel my best. It doesn't help that it tastes amazing too. Sometimes it's so hard to sleep with all that's going on in the world. I'm sure you guys could understand. That's why Via's Dream Gummies have really been a game changer for me. With 420 right around the corner, there's no better time to elevate your wellness routine. Via blends organic lab-tested hemp with effect-driven formulas to help you sleep better, boost your mood, ease anxiety, you name it. They've got options ranging from 0 to high THC, so whether you're looking to microdose or go full send, you're covered. Trusted by over 500,000 happy customers, Via is changing the game in natural wellness, blending powerful, high-quality hemp-derived ingredients to deliver real, effect-driven benefits. Whether you're looking to sleep better, have better libido, improve focus, recover, or simply relax, Via has a tailored solution just for you. And the best part, Via legally ships across the USA, discreet, direct to your door, no medical card required, and backed by a worry-free guarantee. Not sure where to start? Take Via's product finder quiz to get personalized recommendations tailored to your needs. It could take you less than 60 seconds to complete. If you're 21 or over, check out the link to Via in our description and treat yourself to Via's annual Spring 420 sale, Black Friday level savings up to 35% site-wide right now, up to 50% off packs and bundles, and a free gift, plus more savings with your first order using our exclusive code MeiDAS. That's MEIDAS. Plus, enjoy free shipping on orders over $100. That's code MeiDAS, MEIDAS, at the link in our description. After you purchase, they ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Enhance your everyday with Via.
Well, Donald, now that you're in office, you've been a disaster to the markets. You've been a disaster to people's life savings, pensions, 401ks. There's a reason, Donald, why people are out there protesting again in the United States. Shout out to 5051 for helping organize those protests today. We dissent. There's a reason, Donald, that all of your poll numbers are underwater, that people view you severely unfavorably, and the Republican Party as well, when it comes to the economy. And you know what panicked people do? People who have unsteady demeanors and unsteady hands, you know what happens, Donald? They make mistake after mistake after mistake. As my wife says, mistakes are made. They don't just happen. Well, some happen, but mistakes are usually made. As Mark Elias said, if we make it through this dark period with democracy intact, it may be because the administration's incompetence was greater than its depravity. How many times have you all heard me say on the MeidasTouch network that their corruption is matched or exceeded by their incompetence? Because here's another major breaking story today. Trump officials blame a mistake for setting off the confrontation with Harvard. An official on the administration's task force told the university that a letter demand had been sent without authorization. So this whole fight with Harvard, that Harvard's hired top lawyers to fight back, where this letter sent by the Trump regime said they wanted to take over the admissions process of Harvard, the hiring and firing of faculty at Harvard, that the Trump regime wanted to audit the political viewpoints of students at Harvard. So now the Trump regime, after Harvard fought back, they're saying, whoa, this was a mistake, Harvard. We didn't mean to send this letter. This was like a draft. We didn't intend to send this letter. We're not sure who sent it, but this wasn't actually meant to be the final version sent to you. Not only that, but now they're blaming, this is typical abuser personality. Trump's an abuser, right? He's a sexual predator abuser. He was found liable for sexual assault. He's a malignant narcissist. This is what abusive personality people do. They say, Harvard, though, even though the Trump regime made a mistake in sending you this letter, it's your fault, Harvard. You should have known how ridiculous this letter was and not believe that the Trump regime really meant it. So we still blame you, Harvard, for fighting back. You should have just given us a call. You should have apologized to Trump, and then we could have all sorted through this. Really? We expect that the regime that's disappearing migrants to concentration camps in El Salvador without due process accidentally sent a letter to Harvard, to which Donald Trump thereafter made social media post after social media post attacking Harvard and its faculty and confirming that he agreed with this letter. One of the most pathetic things about the Trump regime, honestly, is the panic, and that they will push these crazy, brazen, awful policies, right? And they'll be so sure of them. And then when it's proven to backfire, because if you follow the science and data and all of the things that the Trump regime hates, you know these things are going to backfire. Boom, the Trump regime blinks. They cause the chaos and pain that they've inflicted with the policies. Maybe it's not as bad as it was going to be, but it's still really bad. And then they go and try to blame other people so that they could, so that Trump can throw people under the bus. And then they move on to the next crisis, and that's a perpetual world of chaos. And that's precisely the reason why Donald Trump is a destroyer and not a builder. And if you go back in his history, he's bankrupted so many things. I don't know if the Guinness Book of World Records keeps a list of who's bankrupted the most companies, but Trump would certainly be up there with the amount of things he's bankrupted before politics, because this is what he does. When there's a mistake, he doesn't address it. He compounds mistakes into catastrophes and catastrophes into bankruptcies, and he surrounds himself with the worst people who are panicking right now this weekend. There's a complete meltdown in the Department of Defense right now. Pete Hegseth's team are either resigning or being fired. He is a complete and utter disaster. Right now, the changes that have just taken place, like over the past few days at the Pentagon, will leave Hegseth without a chief of staff, deputy chief of staff, or senior advisor in his front office. Quote, there is a complete meltdown in the building, and this is really reflecting on the secretary's leadership. As Philip Bump says, look, if morning talk show hosts can't manage the Pentagon, it's probably just unmanageable. And let's be clear about what Doge is. Elon Musk knows the incompetence of a Trump, the same way a Putin or any world leaders, allies, adversaries, they all know how weak and pathetic Donald Trump is. So if you think for a second that Doge was about federal cost cutting of waste, abuse, and fraud, oh, I've got some data to sell you. Oh, you don't have to purchase the data from me. Wherever your data is right now, that's the data that you can go and buy, because what Doge was about was stealing your data, was stealing your social security information, stealing your medical files, stealing confidential corporate information. And we're hearing from whistleblowers, like whistleblowers at the National Labor Relations Board and others, who say that Doge was taking this data, they were trying to hide it. And get this, within 15 minutes of Doge accounts being created, attackers in Russia tried logging in using those new credentials, according to this whistleblower. So is it any surprise that in Canada, Prime Minister Mark Carney unveils plans this weekend, and he's been doing it throughout the campaign, frankly, to Trump-proof Canada? Is it any surprise to you that page 1 in the UK's Daily Telegraph, it says, it is foolish that we cut our ties with China? Is it any surprise to you that any of these things are happening and that people are turning away from the United States? It is not. And Americans need to wake up and see what is happening clearly and call it out like we are. He is panicking. He is weak. He is pathetic. Don't be afraid to say it, because that's what's the truth. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
New Meidas merch drop. Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.MeidasTouch.com.